What if you could fork history? You pick a moment in a ongoing geopolitical crisis and take control of one of the actors and make a different call, and then watch a different parallel timeline play out. That's exactly what we've built here in WarGame, formerly known as GeoSim. It's an AI-powered geopolitical simulation engine built with Next.js, Supabase, and Claude. First, we'll show you the app, and then we'll walk you through the Claude Code workflow that we use to build the app. So, first, you have the landing page that kind of breaks down what the app is, and then the simulation that we're going to be demoing is the current situation in Iran. Come here, enter the simulation. Now, what we did in the background, we did a lot of pretty in-depth research to provide our engine with the most accurate information possible. And that is populated in this timeline here, which is our ground truth timeline, which is the true events of what actually have happened in this war that we're living through. Let me browse branches. This gives us a little bit better view of the different things. So each of these nodes represent an event that really happened in real life. And the way that this works is it lets you load from any one of these events, and then you can play as one of the different countries involved in the conflict and engage in a different decision than was made in real life, and see how that would play out based on the information that would be passed to the AI preceding that event, and then based on the country profile and the context that they would have available to them, it generates an outcome that is based in realism. So we're gonna go ahead and load from here. We have, let's roll forward a little bit. Actually, we're gonna go to the most current one. So we have April 4th. Yeah. Oh, great. Please work. Awesome. Okay, hold on. We're gonna sign in from here. Now we got it.
If you
Okay.
want to zoom it a bit, you can.
What's that?
If you want to zoom in a bit, you can. So yeah,
Oh, yeah,
this
genius.
looks much better. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna enter the simulation. All right, so here we are. You can select which player that you want to play as. So we have China, the GCC countries, Iran, Israel, Russia, and the United States. Or you can also choose to play as like an omniscient being who can see everyone's cards, essentially. If you decide to play as a specific actor, your view of the game will be limited based on what that country would actually know, and you don't have access to all the information. It's based on what your intelligence would be able to gather to you. So I'm going to go ahead and display the omniscient view first, and here we have a tutorial that kind of walks you through how to play the game. So I'm just going to skip through this real quick. I'll just demo it for you. So here we have our map UI, and this shows you the assets that are arrayed across the region. We can display all these different things. This is done using Mapbox, pretty cool. API Connect, but if you want to click on any of these things, you can see different things like this pipeline here. We also have different military bases, and it gives you their capacity based on where we are at this point in the conflict. Strait of Hormuz, everyone knows about that. And even more interestingly, we can also see um, a rundown of the different actors involved in this. So here we have an overview of the United States of America. It gives you like a brief history of them, what their strategic objectives are in this conflict, and how what winning looks like for them. It kind of gives you a background on the military doctrine and then the win and success conditions. We also have all of their different military capabilities that you can access here. It gives you sort of like a up-to-date view of what they have available to them at this point in the simulation. Um, this is something to be completed later, but this essentially tells you how far up the escalation chain they are. This gives you a picture into their intelligence, what they believed the other countries to be possessing, and also gives you some insight into the key figures and the relationships with other important figures, and then also a history. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and take control. It's going to ask us who we want to take control as. And then what's going to happen is it's going to generate some decisions that we can make that differentiate from what have actually occurred in real life. And this is using a Claude API call. It takes just a second because it's evaluating everything that's going on. There we go. Awesome. All right, as you can see, we have a bunch of different options here of things that we can do. So we can give a nuclear ultimatum to Tehran, essentially give up your nuclear weapons or else. We can send another carrier strike group to Hormuz. We can authorize infrastructure sabotage. So we can pick any one of these options here, and it gives you a pretty thorough array. And these are generated based on AI and its understanding of the situation. It has access to the context of everything that came ahead of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and click one of these here, and then it's going to go ahead and make that decision, and then it will calculate how everyone else. This is a bit of a bug, people, but one thing that I forgot to mention is we have the Chronicle here that gives you a pretty in-depth summary of everything that happened in the previous steps of the simulation. I have to scroll all the way down. I'm sorry, I can't see the edge of the screen here. Oh, that's not what I want. Alright, just bear with me. But essentially it will generate the results of that, and then all the other actors involved will react accordingly. And if we go back here, we can see. So basically, you can branch from any point throughout this the entire situation, and you can branch off the branches, and it's kind of like a GitHub repository where you can explore all the different possible outcomes in a conflict. So I kind of babbled too long, but I'm going to turn it over to my partner here, and she's going to talk about what our workflow is like to build this app.
Hi, thanks, Jason. So now we'll just do a walkthrough of our Claude Code workflow. So I'll show you the skills which I think were pretty useful for us throughout. So we started with the start session. Can you open that one? The start session MD. Yeah. So this just picks up from where we were before, and we start looking at what do we want to work at, and it has all the context for it. Then we do a pick issue, and it will help you select a GitHub issue which you want to work on from the sprint board, and then help in end-to-end implementation in a different branch. Then we also did the end session every time, which helps in the whole TD process of it, updating the progress notes, pushing to the remote server, and also obviously like committing changes. Uh, we also, yeah, you can show the progress notes which we had for every time, which was very useful for us to keep track of what we were doing. And um, so that I would like love to show. What else? Also, I think we can also talk about the review file, the review MD. So every PR got reviewed using the PR review skill, and this kept in like all our requests into count, the clear framework specifically. I would like to like so all the context, logic, evidence, architecture as well as risk. This was built in and helped us like make the process really smooth. Um, we also had like a bunch of hooks, which we used. Um, guess we can uh, talk about that. Um,
Yeah, this one just basically makes sure that none of your secrets seep into the
in
GitHub.
the yeah, so all the environment variables are like away. Yeah, that's the protect files one. Okay. Um, we also had the okay. Okay. I this we also had like the sprint stand up. Essentially, we made like skills for everything we could think of, and it helped like the process be really streamlined
And then
throughout the whole development process. And I think it helped everything be really smooth. In the end, we can look at like the deployment on like Vercel, which we have. Maybe you can like switch screens and we can show that we have the app deployed, which people can actually look at. Uh,
jeez Louise.
so
Do you want the Vercel or do you want the GitHub?
the yeah, I was just like trying to show the Vercel through
Yeah,
the
this is
GitHub.
so this is Vercel.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it is essentially deployed and you can go see it. It is live at the GeoSM 8 Vercel app and all our like readmes up there, all the architecture, the bunch of features, and I hope you guys
You
can
want
look at it and have fun like trying to see the whole um like this one scenario which we have built in detail.
do you want to mention the Claude MD real quick?
Oh yeah. Uh, so the Claude MD is was the one which kind of put us in check the whole time. We had all the details about the tech stack, the various commands, the architecture decisions we made, all the sprint setups, the patterns we wanted, the yeah, I think we can talk about like the neutrality principle, which was key to us in designing the whole as we were doing like a sensitive scenario topics. I think this also helped in making all the research uh, pretty thorough and according to the context we wanted. We also integrated the some Scrum workflow in it as well as all the session management skills which we already talked about. Um, what else? We also had the note taking, which I mentioned before for the project, which we could like use for all the submissions. And yeah, we also had like the stuff about like the TDD and yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, I think that is it.
All right. All right. Thank you guys. Make sure to check out WarGame on Vercel.
Where's
Yeah. All right. See you guys.